I'd like to ask how to move forward after a year on and off with an emotionally unavailable mother addicted to dysfunction and sabotage. I've stated a preference that I'd be more comfortable with spending time with her and the baby if she was in therapy. She has blown up on me about this and said it was wrong for me to prevent her from seeing her grandson, as at this point I'm committed to my own self-protection and care. This is especially important since she seems to favor everyone, even my abusive now ex-husband, over me, and has communicated with ex-partners of mine before me, even after I've requested she not several times. Despite her determination to see the worst in me, I really want her to be safe enough to share my son's early years with without her sabotaging his potential with emotional abuse. Can you offer tips to this end? It's a very shameful experience. Ugh, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this. And yet it sounds like your mother is unwell psychologically, and it's painful. And I know what you're saying about wanting her to have a relationship with your kid. But the end of the end is that once that kid is attached to your mother, and then your mother turns, because she's gonna, on them, when they are no longer malleable by her, when she can't control and manipulate them, she's definitely going to flip on them if she's a narcissist. There's no doubt. And the same way that she's damaging and has been you for years, she'll be doing that to them. So I don't know. I think that you got to think in a really self-protective way. Like, I would limit her contact with the kid, and I would make it only be when you're there. And here's the thing. I understand your feeling about it being a shameful experience, but you haven't done anything to be ashamed of, like you really haven't. And don't let her mind F work on you by feeling ashamed. I'm not judging you. And I'd love it if you would stop judging yourself, because you are not responsible for your mother's behavior. She's just never satisfied. She takes an inch and a mile. Yep. All right. So that's the whole thing, is that setting limits. Why is it so? Why did I do a whole chapter in the book about setting limits with boundary destroyers? Because it is so friggin' challenging, and they're so good at talking you out of it, and so good at making you seem like you're nuts somehow for the boundary that you want to put in place. So I want you to think about you and think about your child, because that can be really, really difficult. And yet there are ways that you can do it, and you can have chosen family. I mean, how many of you have people in your life that you're not related to? I mean, listen, my kids, I married them basically. And then as we get healthier, we actually have choices. Who gets to be in our VIP section? Who gets close? Like, who are we going to allow to be close to our most tender heart? And I really want you to think about that, because we don't owe anyone squat, not even people we're related to, right? What we owe is we owe ourselves and the people that we love who are emotionally trustworthy. Like, we owe them a safe experience. And so it's so painful if you have never been in a relationship with a narcissist. It's almost hard to imagine how challenging it is. But the beautiful thing is that on the other side of doing this work and of really dealing with it and processing it within yourself, you will lose that shame and that guilt and replace it with joy from these other relationships. Because that's the best part about being grown up, is that the truth is you don't have to have a relationship with anyone that you don't want to, even if other people don't understand it.